Good day and welcome to this presentation. My name is Nondomiso Pengane and I am a lecturer at the Faculty of Law at Stellenbosch University. Thank you for joining me in this presentation. I hope you'll find the information I'm sharing with you today both interesting and helpful. So, in providing an overview of the BAccLLB program for you, I will touch on the following aspects. Firstly, the legal and the accounting and the commercial knowledge that you will be exposed to during the program. And secondly, the various skills that you can acquire during the degree. We will also look at the admissions requirements and the selection for the program, as well as the application process. And then lastly, I will share with you where you can find further information online. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The BAccLLB program caters for the students that have an interest in both law and accounting. So, the degree covers the same law modules as the LLB degree, and this includes family law, property law, company law, labor law, constitutional law, and so on and so forth. But besides these law subjects, you will then also have to complete the accounting modules that are part of the BAcc degree. So for example, you will have to complete financial accounting, management accounting, auditing, and taxation. Upon graduating with the BAccLLB degree, you will then have the option to immediately start your practical training in the legal profession for 2 years. It will then take you 7 years to become a lawyer, which is the 5-year degree together with your 2 years of practical training. Whereas, if you only study the LLB, it will take you 6 years to become a lawyer. Essentially, the BAccLLB will take you 1 year longer, but you will have the benefit of being a lawyer with a degree in accounting. Alternatively, if you are interested in becoming a chartered accountant, that is a CA, you can also continue with a year-long postgraduate qualification in accounting at the university, which is then followed by a 3-year traineeship. So, to become a CA, it will take you 9 years, which is again the 5 years of studies, the 1-year postgraduate qualification, and a 3-year traineeship. If you only study BAcc, it will take you 7 years to become a CA. So this BAccLLB degree essentially means that it will take you 2 years longer if you want to become a CA, but you can have the benefit of being a CA with a law degree. Alternatively, if you are interested in becoming a chartered accountant, that is a CA, you can also continue with a year-long postgraduate qualification in accounting at the university, which is then followed by a 3-year traineeship. So, to become a CA, it will take you 9 years, which is again the 5 years of studies, the 1-year postgraduate qualification, and a 3-year traineeship. If you only study BAcc, it will take you 7 years to become a CA. So this BAccLLB degree essentially means that it will take you 2 years longer if you want to become a CA, but you will have the benefits of being a CA with a degree in law. You can then become both a CA and a lawyer, but of course you are not limited to these two professions. The sky is really the limit. And this is because of all the skills that you would have learned in this degree. So now that we have explored the legal and accounting knowledge that can be acquired, what about the various skills that you will be exposed to? During the course of your studies, you will have the opportunity to develop and improve on a host of higher level skills, including critical thinking, numeracy, as well as writing and reading skills. You will become highly proficient at analyzing vast amounts of information quickly, and you will be able to synthesize the core ideas and the principles that need to be understood from that. And as you progress through your studies, a range of general skills that speak to analyzing potential risk and benefits, as well as advantages and disadvantages within scenarios, will also be acquired. So, in short, the way in which you think and engage with information and the world around you is what will set you apart as a BAccLLB graduate from so many of the other degree options that are available out there. Now, let's turn to the minimum admissions requirements for the BAccLLB program. What is required is at least an 80% average in matric, and this excludes the life orientation mark. You also need at least 70% in mathematics, or at least 60% in mathematics and 70% in accounting. Furthermore, you will need a 60% or at least a 60% in English or Afrikaans home language, or 70% in English or Afrikaans first additional language. But I must make the point that these are only the minimum requirements. So, the better you do and the higher your score, the better your chances will be for being selected in the program. So this brings us to selection. It is very important to note that meeting the admissions requirements does not secure you a place in the program. We only have a limited number of spaces available, and the selection is therefore based on academic merit. Academic merit will consider both your grade 11 results or grade 12 marks if they are available, and then the results of the national benchmark test. So, to give you an idea of availability, over the past few years, we have received more than 200 applications each year for the BAccLLB program, but we have only been able to select 40 students. It is therefore very important that you perform as well as possible in grade 12 and that you also complete the national benchmark test in grade 12. And then finally, if you would like to know more about the BAccLLB program, please visit matis.com, or for any information about the full program, please visit and read through the calendar, which is available at www.sun.ac.za/calendar. And I also want to encourage you to watch the other presentations about your options of studying law at Stellenbosch University. Thank you for joining me, and I am looking forward to welcoming you on campus very soon.